Hello, everyone, and welcome to Zobrio University's ZAI webinar on the integration of receipting in spreadsheets. Today we have Kim Rhodes, a senior application consultant here at Zobrio, to lead the webinar. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat, which is located at the bottom of your screen. We'll go over all questions at the end. Thank you, and I'll now hand it over to Kim.
Thank you, Colleen. Welcome all to the session. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to jump right in. What you should see on your window on the screen right now is receipt entry. And I'm sure you're all familiar with the import receipts. This is typically used for importing receipts from a collector's package, be it SoftWrite or Munis or DN Windows, whichever collection system you have. And for those packages, we have custom files that we import, but you might not have known that you also can create your own spreadsheet and import receipts in that manner. We're always looking for ways to, do our job more efficiently, and this might work and it might not work. You might prefer to just, manually enter your receipts like you do, just, walking through the fields here. But what I want to show is how easy it is to populate a spreadsheet and import your receipts in that manner. So for 1 second, I'm going to stop the share and reshare a screen that will show you what the spreadsheet looks like. So give me 1 minute here. Coming right back to you. 1 second. Okay, so here we are in the spreadsheet. So this is our template. The first column that says software, we just defaulted to this word importer, and that just will show that the receipts came in from an import versus manual. The next column, which is our source column, let me just pop that open. You can see all the. These are your sources that would come directly from your source table, and you would just type them in and they would be identical to what's in your source table. Next field is your date, whatever date, this is the transaction date. So whatever the date is of the receipts, you put that in this field, row. Then we have the assessed year, which probably won't be applicable. The payer can be whatever you want. I put various in here for this example. The amount would be the amount of the receipts. Payment type is something that you and I would work with. That's a profile that I would have to set up for you. That's real easy to do. Check number is an optional field. If you have a check number, you can put it in. Just leave it out if you don't use check numbers. Batch number, we're going to skip that for now in this example, but I'll come back and show you how you could import, for example, a week's worth of work by showing you a different spreadsheet. Okay, this next column, transaction ID, we don't have to put anything in there. That was just a test here, but probably not applicable. It might be used if you were importing a spreadsheet from another software package. For example, maybe the town clerk has some dog licensing software, and that software is able to generate a spreadsheet, and they might use a transaction ID to tie back to this receipt. So we're going to skip it for now and try to make this really basic. And then the description is the description you would have if you were manually entering receipts. Scroll over and email here, that's optional. So as you see, there's this first field is mandatory, the source obviously is mandatory, the date, the payer, the amount, a payment type, and basically a description. So you could fill this in, and I'm just going to save that. And now I'm going to show you how to import this spreadsheet into receipt entry. So I'm going to have to stop the share again and reshare the receipt entry screen. So give me 1 minute here. Oops. Sorry about this. It'll just take a second. Okay, here we are back again. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit import receipts. I don't know if you can, I don't think you can see this window here, but it's a browse window where I can browse to wherever I saved that spreadsheet. I have it on my desktop, so I'm just opening up my desktop. Okay, so now on the screen, you see the receipt import window. And what we have is my file name, ZU Standard Import Selectman Spreadsheet. It tells me the number of receipts I have in the spreadsheet. It's going to make one batch because the start date and the end date was just one date. Transaction type more than one means I had cash and checks in the spreadsheet, and it gives me a total amount. I can override the date here if I want, and here I can choose a department. Now, if this was a remote department doing this, they just see their own department. I'm signed in as a treasurer, so I can see all the departments. So I'm going to pick selectmen, and then would I like to import them? Yes, I would. So I click import receipts. And now it's just like as if I had sat down here and added each receipt manually. They're all assigned a sequence number. Payer was various. Description, the originator is going to be importer instead of manual. And these are my different payment types and the total. So then I can just process this as I would any SOP. And I'll just type in, I don't know, selectmen daily receipts. Double check my total here and submit. And it's just processing, and it's going to come up with my SOP report. I'm going to send it all the way through because I want to show you one more feature that comes along with being able to import a spreadsheet. Sorry about this. First one always takes a few seconds here. Okay, so there's my SOP report. Close out of that. Pop over to the cash book. I'm going to accept this SOP that I just did. I'll just grab any bank here, my test banks. And we'll just give the deposit, a description, and then I will accept. Okay, so right here at the top of my cash book, all my 5 receipts came in. And what this is kind of neat is you can click on the preview at any point in time, and I can view that import file. First, if you have Elevated Trust set up on your desktop, it would open right up. I don't have it installed, so I'd have to save it and then open it up. But it would look just like, ask me if I want to save it. I say okay, and then I get to pick where I'm just saving it on my desktop. And I'm thinking you probably didn't see that window, but it just opens up to a Microsoft Browse window, and you can save it to the folder of your choice. You probably wouldn't save it because you already have it somewhere, but in case you had deleted it, we're saving all those files that you import on our servers. So it's not like you have to hold on to those files that you import, because you can always preview and open them up, view them, and save them again. Okay, so let's pop back to receipt entry. And I'm going to actually show you now how you can import a spreadsheet with multiple days of work. So apologize, I'm going to have to stop the share again and open up that window so I can show you the spreadsheet. Here we go. Okay. 1 second. Open that. All All right, back here, share screen, and we're back to the spreadsheet. Okay. Whoops, I just want to pop the open. Okay. So as you can see in this spreadsheet of school lunch sales, I've got multiple dates, and then I have multiple batch numbers. And the software knows to break out this spreadsheet into multiple batches because it would be multiple dates, and you might want multiple SOPs, or you might want to put them all in one SOP and create the different deposits in the cash book. That would be your choice. But these, and the advantage of this is you have all the sources already here, so you can just change out the dates, change out the amounts. Payer, if you don't want to track the person's name, you could, like you saw in the previous spreadsheet, I just put in the word various. So that's an option. Description, it's optional what you want to put in there. But that's the only difference between this spreadsheet and the other spreadsheet, was that I put in multiple dates. Okay, so I'm going to close this spreadsheet. You can't have the spreadsheet open when you import it. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to. Can you see my receipt entry screen, Colleen, or somebody?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay,
we can.
perfect. Okay, so now if I hit import receipts, I don't think you can see this screen, but I'm going to import that spreadsheet with the multiple days.
We can also see that Microsoft, the little ones when you're opening.
Oh, you can? Oh, awesome. Good to know.
Yes.
Okay, so a couple things different when we opened up this one. We've got the file name, the number of receipts, but now look at our start date and our end date. And we also have this button that says import as separate batches, which I'm going to do since they're different dates and they're going to be different deposits. I'm going to import them as separate batches. So what happens when you do that, and I'm going to pick school because this was school lunch receipts. I'm going to click import receipts. And what it does is it's going to put the earliest batch on this screen, so I can just come down here and say done with batch. And then if you look in this window, it puts all the other dates in the batch panel. So I can check them out. Okay, here's 12/31. I can check the total. Looks good. I can say done with batch. Can look at the next day. So you do have to open them up and mark them as done. At the same time, you can be checking the totals. I'm guessing you have some other paperwork that you're verifying these amounts against. And done with batch. And then check the rest. I think this one had forgot nine different days in it, or 7. So that's another option. I think most people, if you're doing it for yourself or a remote department, they're just doing one per day. This one example actually, I think, comes from another software vendor, My Schoolbucks, where that software is able to generate a spreadsheet and then they just import it. So close the batch panel. And maybe we'll just look at one more. Import receipts. Let's just grab like a town. Let's see. I don't know which ones I've imported. Let's try this one. If you've already imported it, you'll get a message that it's already been imported. So this is just one day's work. So to say town clerk, import receipts. And I'll just, like you had manually entered them. So the reason it could be faster is because when you have your spreadsheet open, you can, just change the date in one fell swoop, which is all you really, other than the amount, obviously, and payer, I guess it wouldn't make a lot of sense if you're going to put all the different payers in. It might make sense if it'd be faster if you had the word various and payer, and the description was consistent. Maybe the description just all said town clerk. So something to think about. Maybe it doesn't make sense. Maybe it makes sense. We have a few clients doing it. There could be others that maybe I don't know about, but if you do want to do this, all you need to do is reach out to me. I can send you the template. I can set up the payment types, and we can like do the first couple together. So I'd be happy to work with you if you want to do that. That's all I wanted to show you with that. It's pretty easy. I'm going to mark this batch as done. Close my window. Then I'm just going to quickly, I'm going to add, open that up. Sorry. New batch. I'm going to just, some of you may not be familiar with the audit trail, but what it can do, let's just add a receipt here. Okay, so I just added a receipt. And now I look up, that's wrong. So it was supposed to be 100. Let's see. Whoops, sorry about that. $100. Okay, so I had an amount and I changed it. So now if I look at the audit trail, it's going to show me that I changed the old value of 133 to 100. Here's Kim as the user, the time, I did a change, old value, new value. If you can see these other ones I was playing with, so I could give you some examples. You can do a few things in this grid. All the grids, as you probably know, probably act the same. You can filter, you can sort. So maybe I want to see all the deletes that were done today. So I can filter on delete, I can say filter, and I just see anything that was deleted. When you delete an entire batch, it doesn't give you the old value and the new value. The deletes are just saying we get deleted the batch. You can preview that, and it can tell you what cash receipt was deleted. It's got an audit ID number. And if it's a batch here, down here, we'll preview this one. It gives you the batch number that was deleted. So if you're going through the batches and you notice one's missing, you could come in here. Oh, yeah, it's missing because it got deleted. You can also, if you want, maybe the head of each department, you want to give them authorization to come in here. I can come over here. Let me get rid of this filter, clear that. And let's say I'm going to filter on selectmen. And I say filter. So now I'm just seeing the activity that happened in the selectmen department. So I can come up here to my views, and you're probably familiar with how you create views. I can save this as a new view. I can say selectmen. I can assign it to others. Since I'm the treasurer, I can then come over to customization, assign views, and we'll pretend Bill is the head of this selectmen department. And I can assign him the selectmen view. I can save that. So then when he opens up his system, he'll come in here and he'll just see the activity that was in this view. And you can give that to your remote departments if they'd like, if they want to monitor what's getting deleted or changed. Okay, but let's clear that. And you can put the from and the to date like you can do with other grids. If the screen is full, you have your get next option like you have in the cash book to see more records. I think that's it. Pretty basic. You could always, I think it's chapter 7 in the documentation if you want to read up with, get more detail. That's there. And like I said, with the spreadsheets, you just have to contact me and I'll send you the template. Okay, how about questions? Does anyone have any questions? I know I went pretty fast. Sorry about that. And
So far, I don't see any questions. We might give people just a few minutes just in case.
okay. I'll mention one other thing. I also can send out the information on each of the columns in the spreadsheet in case you did have a remote department that had some type of software that can create a spreadsheet. If you think they might be up to creating a spreadsheet that would work with us, work with our template, I could send that out too.
Okay, it doesn't look like we're going to have any questions.
Okay, so hopefully you all have my email address, Kim Rhodes. If not, I don't know, Colleen, maybe we could put that in the chat, kim.rhodes@zobrio.com.
I can do that.
Okay. And then if someone wants to give this a try, I would work with them. Just shoot me an email and I'll give you a call and we can work together.